Hello, welcome to Dun Girls Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. Today, I'm reviewing the 1995 Japanese horror film, Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder In Hell, which is directed and starring Shinichi Fukazawa, Misaki Kai, Masahiro Kai, Asako Nosaka, and Aki Tamamai, right? Yeah, this is, I first heard of this film when I was, looking for stuff to review on Tubi, right? Where I watched the film, right? Which the movie is only an hour and 3 minutes. Not even feature length. And this movie's pretty, popular in the cult classics part of YouTube because it's known as a pretty famous Japanese Evil Dead clone, right? Kind of like Evil Dead Trap. And at first, while watching it, I'm like, oh, this movie's gonna be even worse than like Evil Dead Trap, which I like that movie, but like not a lot of people like that movie. And I gotta say, I refuse to call this movie an Evil Dead clone. Despite all the similarities and the straight up references and homages they do in the movie, I refuse to call this movie an Evil Dead clone because the movie, in my opinion, transcended that. It found its own identity with its premise. And you can tell with the movie that the people who made it probably had a lot of fun. If not, I sure as hell did, because it's been a while since I first got into watching Japanese movies, right? And the first Japanese movies I watched were the batshit crazy Japanese films, and it's been a while since I've seen a batshit crazy Japanese film that I've enjoyed, right? And this was one of them, right? This is the first one in a while of batshit crazy Japanese films, right? And the movie, first let's get into what the movie's about. The movie starts off in the 70s, even though, it starts off in the 70s where a man dressed up just like Ash from Evil Dead, Ashley J. Williams, breaks up with his crazy girlfriend, and his crazy girlfriend attacks him, right? And during the fight, he accidentally kills his girlfriend and decides to get rid of the body, right, by putting it under the floorboards, only for her to come back to life and swear vengeance against him, right? And the movie time skips 30 years later, according to the film, even though the movie takes place in, I'm assuming, 1995. So if the events of the first film, if the events in the beginning of the film took place in the 70s, and it's now 30 years later, this should be like the 2000s, right? But somebody didn't do the math, right? So yeah, the movie starts off with our main character Naoto, which he's called, and I don't know why they call him Shinji in the credits. In the description of the movie, because he's called Naoto in the film, right? So somebody messed up, right? But yeah, the movie's main character is Naoto, right? Who is I'm assuming the director and star of the film, right? Who is a bodybuilder, right? Who hasn't had a job in like a year after his girlfriend broke up with him. His girlfriend gets a hold of him and asks for his permission to do a piece on his family's home that his parents left him, right, after they died, because she's doing a article on haunted houses, and his house is supposedly haunted, right? So he takes his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend, and this psychic over to the house, only for the psychic to get killed and possessed by the evil, crazy ex-girlfriend of the house, right? Who locks everybody inside and tries to kill Naoto and his girlfriend. Naoto and his girlfriend subdue the corpse, the possessed corpse, and gets told by a possessed TV, possessed by the soul of Naoto's dead father, who tells him the backstory of the film, right? And tells him the only way him and his girlfriend can escape the house is if they destroy the body, right, of the possessed psychic, right? And for him to do that, he needs to go into the basement to get his a weapon, right? Where he first finds a shotgun, right? Which the main character says groovy, just like Ash and Evil Dead 1 or 2. I can't remember which. He probably said groovy in all three of them, probably, right? And you know, he fights the dismembered corpse, only for it to turn into goop and transfer into the corpse of the old ex-girlfriend, who was buried under the floorboards, and at the same time she's also possessing his girlfriend, right? He gets his ass kicked and ends up in the basement, sees his training equipment, his dumbbells, right, and weights, and realizes that his father didn't say for him to get, you know, D weapon. He says for him to find my weapon, right? So he realized, oh, his dad was telling him to fight using his weapon of choice, which is the weight, the dumbbells and the weights, right? Which he arms himself with and fights the possessed monsters, right? Which he saves his girlfriend by bitch slapping, calling her Bakaro, bitch slapping her and sucking out the poison from the wound that infected her, right? And they defeat the corpse, right? And the movie ends, right? Happy ever after. So what did I think about the film? Well, at first I'm like, you know, the movie's called Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder In Hell, right? And you know, at first I'm like, this guy is not much of a bodybuilder. He's like as much. He reminded me of Adam Devine's character in Workaholics, where Adam's character becomes a bodybuilder, right? And he gets like embarrassed at the fucking bodybuilding competition, right? Because he's not even. I know you don't really need to have massive muscles to be considered a bodybuilder, because there's also the aesthetic bodybuilder, right, which is just having like really like nice muscles, right, which was popularized by, I forget the guy's name, the Australian YouTuber guy, I forget his name, right? Let me double check. That's what the guy's name. Like, look up the meme, "We're all going to make it, brah," and you'll see a picture of Z's, who, like, that guy is a fucking bodybuilder, not the guy in the movie, which he should be embarrassed, because he like flexes in front of his ex-girlfriend, right? When he tells her, "Oh, I'm a bodybuilder," right? And she just like looks just like dumbfounded face. Which I don't think that was the actress is probably real like reaction to that, but whatever. I don't know, but like the movie, you know, despite the problems of the movie, which is its budget, The bad special effects of the movie, which it's like a mix of practical stop motion, right? There's blood fountains, right? Um, there's pretty bad like Photoshop like effects in the movie. Despite the fact, all that shit, the movie is a fun, like a fun splatterhouse kind of movie, right? And you know, it's just a fun fucking movie, and movies can be fun. You know, this is a great movie to watch. You know, if you're looking for like a horror comedy kind of movie to review, to not review, to watch with your friends, right? And that's why, even though the movie, it's a thing where, honestly, at best, this movie's like a 6 out of 10, and that's, you know, like that's the thing, because the movie is a lot of bad things about the movie. The movie, quality wise, like cinematography wise, is bad. Special effects are bad, right? Acting, if I spoke Japanese, probably wouldn't be too impressed by the acting, right? But the movie's fucking fun. The movie is funny. There's some funny shit in the movie, right? Right. The music is fucking great in the fucking movie. The music's great. There's some music in the film that very much reminded me of Akira Yamamoto's like Silent Hill music, like very haunting, like rock music in the film, right? And yeah, so like honestly, that movie, the movie, even by my standards, is probably shouldn't. At best, should be a 5 out of 10. But fuck it, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. Because the movie had heart. Okay? The movie had heart. And if you're one of those people that like fun, crazy, batshit Japanese movies, go fucking watch this fucking film, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Fuck, man. So yeah, I love this movie. I want to watch more movies by this guy. Unfortunately, this guy only did like he only did like one other movie, which is called Violator from 2018. I'm gonna hopefully watch that movie at some point, and I highly recommend this film. Peace.